進化するよもっともっと
So I've actually been meaning to make this video for a while, but as a hit scan player, I've recently transitioned into playing Genji. So in this video or guide or whatever, this is mainly just to be looked at from a beginner standpoint, because at this point I've already been playing Genji for about a week now, what it feels like, with different settings, different controls, and what I think are the best settings. I did pull these settings off from another console Genji video, so I will be linking that in the description as well. So these are the general Genji settings that you will need. I'm just going to show it to you guys right now, and I'll go over it in a bit. Okay, so with the settings that we implemented as well into our controller or as our settings, this is potentially the smoothest that you're going to be feeling with Genji as far as aim assist is concerned and as far as sensitivity is concerned. This is mainly because with the change of the aim smoothing that we have set into the settings, this will allow you to really 180 off of your dash really quickly, because you need to be able to input more damage as you're dashing. I think that's what makes you the most flexible as Genji. So the main thing that we changed up in controls was the jump, which went from X to L1. The reason why we changed it from L1 or LB, I believe it is for Xbox, but the reason why we changed it is because it's much more efficient to be a primary firing along with looking around, because if you have your jump bound to A or X, you're gonna really find it hard, and your right thumb is gonna end up leaving, and you have to look, and it's gonna be less efficient when it comes to primary firing or when it comes to secondary firing. What you're really gonna find when jumping with A or X is that your thumb is gonna be moving back and forth in between X and the right thumbstick, and that's really going to be an issue for you because it's going to be tiring for your fingers as well. Since Genji is one of the more mobile players, it's really important to have to be able to jump while you're firing, because if you're not, then you're not putting the amount of designated damage that you are supposed to be getting as Genji, because Genji is probably one of the better mobile and damage spamming as far as diving goes. Genji's primary fire should be used from long range. This is going to be much easier to hit as far as shooting far targets goes, and Genji's secondary fire should be used from mid to close range. You're really going to be using your secondary fire much more often compared to your primary fire, mainly because you're going to be pushing with your team, so L2 or secondary fire is going to be much more effective, so make it a habit early to be using L2 much more often compared to R2. And lastly, we are going to go over general tips. These are 4 general tips that I think you should be considering when it comes to starting and beginning as Genji, so let's get into it. Okay, so the first tip, as you guys can see on screen, is this combo, which is primary fire dash and then secondary fire spam, is potentially the best combo that you can be doing as Genji, because you're gonna really need to rush in for those kills, especially if somebody's really low or if you're getting somebody off guard. This is potentially the most damage output that you can put with Genji's abilities without his ult. So I really recommend you practicing your primary fire dash and secondary fire spam combo the entire time. You can melee too at the end, but it's really important that you know this specific combo, because this combo is really going to help you out in the long run. A second tip that you should take into the game is the best way or the fastest way to build ult charge is to actually secondary fire a whole bunch of tanks. The more shurikens you land, the faster your ult is going to charge up, but don't let this stray you away from the fact that you can really apply pressure to the squishy characters, so don't be greedy when it comes to putting damage into the enemy team. The general tips that I can mainly give you as a Genji beginner or as a starting Genji is to not expect a feed like a 4-man or a quad or quadruple kills right off the bat with Dragon Blade. Yeah, you can single-handedly carry with Dragon Blade, but at the same time you're already a dive hero and you're already giving a lot of output to the enemy team with just your abilities and your shurikens alone. So I would really suggest just either ulting with the team or with a teammate, like with an Ana or a Zarya. But you alone, by just Dragon Blading, already applies so much pressure, even if you're not like directly hitting the person or the enemy team, you're already like giving them a lot of pressure when it comes to your ult, because you can be really aggressive, especially if you're hitting your dashes right away. So the last tip that I can give you as a beginner Genji basically is to play slow at first and to play with your team, because you don't have to have the mentality of being an aggressive Genji right away, because your healers are going to keep you alive anyway, and you're a dive character, so they're going to accommodate for you when you're playing. So and you don't have to have the mentality of playing perfect. I mean, I can only give you tips from a video, and it's really up to you to really put it into practice when it comes to playing Genji, because this is my personal preference and what I found really helpful when it comes to playing Genji as a beginner, because I legit just started playing Genji about a week ago, so it's really up to you guys. So now I'm just going to provide you guys the full game of what you see in the background, just so maybe you can get some tips. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and please do leave a like, subscribe, comment, whatever, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
show me to my grave.